Where do landslides occur? A surprising fact to many people is that landslides can occur virtually anywhere in the world. The traditional viewpoint that landslides are restricted to extremely steep slopes and inhospitable terrain does not accurately reflect the real nature of the problem. Excessive perception, earthquakes, volcanoes, forest fires, and other mechanisms, and more recently, certain dangerous human activities are just some of the key causes that can trigger landslides. See Part D. What is the cause of landslides? For more information on triggering mechanisms. Similarly, landslides are known to occur both on land and under earth. They can occur in bedrock or on soils, cultivated land, barren slopes, and natural forests are all subjected to landslides. Bearing in mind that landslides can happen virtually anywhere around the world, we do, however, recognize certain patterns in their occurrence. Bearing in mind, bearing in mind that landslides can happen virtually anywhere around the world, we do, however, recognize certain pattern in their occurrence. Debris torrents require channels and ravines to occur, whereas rockfalls will happen only where steep exposed faces of bedrock or boulder-rich deposits are present. This is lateral spreading damage. Part D. What causes landslides? There are two primary categories of causes of landslides: natural and human caused. Sometimes landslides are caused or made worse by a combination of the two factors. Natural occurrences. The category has three major triggering mechanisms that can occur either singly or in combination. First, water; second, seismic activity; and third, volcanic activity. Natural occurrences. This category has three major triggering mechanisms that can occur either singly or in combination. First, water; second, seismic activity; and third, volcanic activity. Landslides and water. Slope saturation by water is a primary cause of landslides. Saturation can occur in the form of intense rainfall, snow melt, changes in groundwater levels, and surface water level changes along coastlines, earth dams, and in the bank of lakes, reservoirs, canals, and rivers. Note here, landslides and water. Slope saturation by water is a primary cause of landslides. Saturation can occur in the form of intense rainfall, snow melt, changes in groundwater levels, and surface water level changes along coastlines, earth dams, and in banks of lakes, reservoirs, canals, and rivers. This is Miami's Puerto Rico landslide. This is landslide. Not here, this is landslide. Landslide and seismic activity. Many mountain areas that are vulnerable to the landslides have also experienced at least moderate rates of earthquake activity in recorded times. Earthquakes, earthquakes in steep landslide prone areas get increase the likelihood that landslides will occur due to ground shaking alone. Liquefaction of susceptible sediments or shaking cause dilation of solid materials, which allows rapid infiltration of water. This is earthquake induced landslide damage to a house built on artificial fill after the 2004 Nagita Prefecture earthquake in Japan. Note here photograph by Professor Kamai, Kyoto University, Japan. Landslides and volcanic activity. Landslides due to volcanic activity represent some of the most devastating types of failure. Volcanic lava may melt snow rapidly, which can form a deluge of rock, soil, ash, and water that accelerates rapidly on the steep slopes of volcanoes. devastating anything in its path. These volcanic debris flows, also known as lahars, an Indonesian term, can reach great distances after they leave the flanks of the volcano and can damage structures in flat areas surrounding the volcanoes. This is Casita volcano. This is Lahar. This is Lahar, which killed more than 2,000 people as it swept over the towns of Ei Proviner and Rolando Rodriguez. Human activities. Populations expanding onto new land and creating neighborhoods, towns, and cities is the primary means by which humans contribute to the occurrence of landslides. Disturbing or changing drainage pattern, destabilizing slopes, and removing vegetation are common human induced factors that may initiate landslides. What are the effects and consequences of landslides? Landslides effects occur in two basic environments, the built environment and the natural environment. Sometimes there is intersection between the two. For example, agricultural lands and forest lands that are logged. Effects of landslides on the built environment. Landslides affect man-made structures whether they are directly on or near a landslide. Residential dwellings built on unstable slopes may experience partial damage to complete destruction as landslides destabilize or destroy foundations, walls surrounding property, and above ground and underground utilities. Effects of landslides on built environment. Fast moving landslides such as debris flows are the most destructive type of landslide to structures as they often occur without precursors or warnings, move too quickly for any mitigation measures to be enacted, and due to velocity and material are often very powerful and destructive. One of the greatest potential consequences from landslide is to transport industry, and this commonly affects large number of people around the world. Cut and fill failures along roadways and railways, as well as collapse of roads from underlying weak and slide prone soils and fill are common problems. Note here, one of the greatest potential consequences from landslide is to transportation industry, and this commonly affects a large number of people around the world. Cut and fill failures along roadways and railways, as well as collapse of roads from underlying weak and slide prone soils and fill are common problems. Then, as bird populations continue to expand, they are increasingly vulnerable to landslide hazards. People tend to move onto new land that might have been deemed too hazardous in the past but are now the only areas that remain for a growing population. Party. What are the effects and consequences of landslides? This is a landslide on Pan American Highway in EI Salvador, Central America, near the town of San Vicente in 2001. In 2001 picture. Effects of landslides on the natural environment. Landslides have effects on natural environment. The morphology of Earth's surface, mountain and valley systems, both on the continents and beneath the ocean, mountain and valley morphologies are most significantly affected by downslope movement of large landslide masses. Second, the forests and grasslands that cover much of the continents, and the native wildlife that exists on Earth's surface and in its river, lakes, and seas. Figure 30, 31, and 32 shows the very large aerial extent of some landslides and how they may change the face of terrain, affecting rivers, farmland, and forests. Forest, grasslands, and wildlife often are negatively affected by landslides, with the forest and fish habitats being most easily damaged. temporarily, or even rarely destroyed. The following list identifies some examples of landslides that commonly occur in the natural environment. Submarine landslide is a general term used to describe the downslope mass movement of geologic materials from shallower to deeper regions of the ocean. Coastal cliff retreat. No, note here for submarine landslides, such events may produce major effects to depth of shorelines, ultimately affecting boat dockings and navigation. Coastal cliff retreat or cliff erosion is another common effect of landslides on the natural environment. Rock and soil falls, slides, and avalanches are the most common types of landslide affecting coastal areas. However, topples and flows also are known to occur. Landslide dams can, can naturally occur over a large landslide blocks the flow of river, causing a lake to form behind the blockage. Most of these dams are short-lived as water will eventually erode the dam. What Part E, what are the effects and consequences of landslides? This is an note here. This is an active volcano, Mount Shasta. Active volcano, Mount Shasta. This is view looking downstream at the confluence of Rio Malo flowing from lower left and Rio Caco, northern eastern Ecuador in South America. Note this picture. This is Slumgullion landslide, which is in Colorado, USA. Part F, International of landslides with other natural hazards, the multiple hazard effect. Natural hazards such as floods, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and landslides can occur simultaneously, or one or more of these hazards can trigger one or more of the others. Landslides are often a result of the earthquakes, floods, and volcanic activity and may in turn cause subsequent hazards. For example, an earthquake-induced landslide can cause a deadly tsunami if sufficient landslide material slides into a body of water to displace a large volume of water. Part F, relationship of landslides with other natural hazards, the multiple hazard effect. Note here, this is an multi-hazard event. Multi-hazard event. The 1999 multi-hazard event in Arena in coastal Venezuela, South America. This is approximate flash flood hazard zone. These are flash floods. These are flash floods. This is landslides. This is flash flood and debris flow path. This is landslides. This is landslides. Note here. This is landslides. This is landslides. This is flash flood and debris flow path. This is flash floods. This is flash floods. This is approximate flash flood hazard zone. Flash floods. This is flash floods. Note here. This is rock avalanche deposit. This is ridge. This is debris flow deposits. This is multi-hazard event. This is the after effects of a multi-hazard event. Section 2, evaluating and communicating landslide hazard. Section 2, evaluating and communicating landslide hazard. Worldwide information about landslides varies in its quantities and complexity and ranges in quality from detailed inventories of past landslides and resultant susceptibility and hazard maps to no information at all. Part A, evaluating landslide hazards. There are many different means of assessing landslide hazards for an area. It is always advisable to consult with an expert for the most accurate assessment, although this is not always possible. observation and or inspection by local experts and or municipal officials and property owners. The following simple guide may assist individuals in observing and assessing a potential landslide hazard. It is important to note that some of these features can also be due to causes other than landslides, such as swelling soils. Features that might indicate landslide movement: springs, seeps, and wet or saturated ground in previously dry areas on or below slopes; ground cracks, cracks in snow, ice, soil, or rock on or the head of slopes; sidewalks or slabs pulling away from the structure if near a slope; soil pulling away from foundations. Note to managers: it is important that governing bodies provide a means of keeping records, preferably in written format, about the occurrences of landslides with photographs and diagrams where possible. Note here, this is ground cracks, this is sidewalk pulling away from the house, this sidewalk pulling away from the house. This is cracking of foundation of a structure. This is cracking of foundation of a structure. Technological tools for evaluating of landslides: mapping, remote sensing, and monitoring. One of the guiding principles of geology is that the past is the key to the future. In evaluating landslide hazard, this means that future slope failures could occur as a result of these same geologic, geomorphic, and hydrologic situations that led to past and present failures. In order to predict landslide hazards in an area, the conditions and processes that promote instability must be identified and their relative contributions to slope failure estimated if possible. Useful conclusions concerning increased probability of landslide can be drawn by combining geological analysis with the knowledge of short and long term meteorological conditions. Map analysis. Map analysis is usually one of the first steps in the landslide investigation. Necessary maps include bedrock and superficial geology, topography, soils, and if available, geomorphology maps. Aerial reconnaissance. Aerial reconnaissance analysis of aerial photography is a quick and valuable technique for identifying landslides because it provides a three-dimensional overview of the terrain and indicates human activities as well as much geologic information to a trained person. Field reconnaissance. Many of the more subtle signs of a slope movement can't be identified on maps or photographs. Indeed, if an area is heavily forested or has been urbanized, even major features may not be evident. Drilling. At most sites, drilling is necessary to determine the type of earth material involved in the slide, the depth to slip surface, and thus the thickness and the geometry of the landslide mass, the water table level, and the degree of disruption of the landslide materials. Drilling. At most sites, drilling is necessary to determine the type of earth materials involved in the slide, the depth to the slip surface, and thus thickness and geometry of the landslide mass, the water table level, and the degree of disruption of the landslide materials. Instrumentation. Sophisticated methods such as electronic distance measurement (EDM), instruments such as inclinometers, extensometers, strain meters, and piezometers. See glossary for definition of these instruments. And simple techniques such as establishing control points by using stakes can all be used to determine the mechanics of landslide movements and to monitor and warn against impending slope failure. Geophysical studies. Geophysical techniques, measurement of soils, electrical conductivity or resistivity, or measurement of indeed seismic behavior can be determined to determine some subsurface characteristics such as depth to bedrock, stratigraphic layers, zone of saturation, and sometimes the ground water table. Acoustic imagery and profiles of lake beds, river bottoms, and the sea floor can be obtained using acoustic techniques such as side scan sonar and sub bottom seismic profiling. Surveying of controlled grids with accurate navigation can yield three-dimensional perspectives of subaqueous geologic phenomena. Computerized landslide terrain analysis. In recent years, computer modeling of landslides has been used to determine the volume of landslides, masses, and changes in the surface expression and cross section over time. This information is useful in calculating the potential for stream blockage, cost of landslide removal based on volume, and the type mechanism of movement. Very promising methods are being developed that use digital elevation models, which is DEMs, to evaluate areas quickly for their susceptibility to landslide debris flow events. Communicating landslide hazard. The successful translation of Part B. Communicating landslide hazard. The successful translation of natural hazard information into a form useful for non-technical users conveys the following three elements in form or other: likelihood of the occurrence of an event of a size and in location that would cause casualty, damage, or disruption to an existing standard of safety; second, expected location and extent of effects of the event on the ground, structures, or socio-economic activity. These elements are indeed because engineers, planners, and decision makers usually will not be concerned with a potential hazard if its likelihood is rare, its location is unknown, or its severity is slight. Unfortunately, these three pieces of information can come in different forms with many different names, some quantitative and precisive, other qualitative and general. Safety information. Safety is no doubt the first order of business for managers and municipal officials. People living in areas prone to fast moving deadly debris flows indeed need information on the likelihood of the hazard. For example, when it is most dangerous to be in the path of potential debris flows, such as during heavy rainstorms, and at what point to evacuate and or cease walking on driving in a hazard area. Building and construction information. This information is also vulnerable to communities, so that some of the causes of landslide must be avoided. The information is discussed in the section 3rd, mitigation concepts and approaches. Safety education and building information can be made available to community residents in various ways. Suggested local government outreach for landslide hazard: newspaper bulletin advertisements, public service brochures distributed door to door or displayed in public places, community meeting decisions, community meeting decisions, pursue public grant programs, government programs for infrastructure and